Okay, we're going to do take 2 on section 16.1 part 6. I guess it helps if you make sure the record button is actually going when you start to record. So basically we're doing the same thing that we did yesterday, except that on these equations, instead of having a log with a base of 10 or a log with another number base, we're going to have natural logs, which just as a reminder means that our base is e. And e is approximately 2.7. So when you do these problems, depending on if you're using a calculator or not, you would either leave your answers in terms of e, or you can plug in e into your calculator, and then our final answer we would round to the nearest tenth. Now remember, the more times you use the actual number, the bigger chance you have of having a slightly different answer, because if you round somewhere during the problem, it just sort of compounds throughout the problem. So, but the first one, we don't need to worry about that at all, because again, if my base is e, what does this mean? 0 is the exponent, so this means e to the 0 power equals x minus 5. You guys already know off the top of your head that anything to the 0 power is going to give you 1. And so x will be 6. Okay, just double check. Does that make sense? Can you go 6 minus 5 and take the natural log of that? Yes, you can. Okay. Second one, our base is still e because we're doing natural log. So e, again, there's my exponent, to the second power equals 3x minus 2. Okay, if you're not using your calculator, how do you just get x by itself? Well, add 2 to both sides to start. So e squared plus 2 equals 3x. And then divide both sides by 3. Okay, that's going to give you an exact answer. If you wanted to plug that into your calculator and do e squared plus 2 and then divide by 3, you get an answer that's about 3.1. Okay, and just because I am having so much fun changing colors here. Okay, here's another example. Again, it's a natural log, so your base is e. Your exponent is 2. So e squared is x plus 1 squared. So you can take the square root of both sides. Absolutely. And that would make it e equals x plus 1. So to get x by itself, you're going to subtract 1, and you get that. Now remember, e is about 2.7. So that's about 1.7. I didn't really need to take the square root of both sides, though, because I could have also realized that they have the same exponent and they're equal to each other. That means this thing inside and this thing must equal each other. So you sort of could have skipped that step in a shortcut. But okay, and then the last one with this bunch. This one you can do a couple ways. So you could use the properties of logs, and you could say, well, it's a subtraction problem, which means if I combine them, it turns into a division problem, which means that e to the third equals x plus 8 divided by 7. And then, so again, how do you get x by itself? You're going to multiply both sides by 7. And then you're going to subtract 8. So I would have 7 times e to the third minus 8 equals x. Okay. And then if you want to get an answer, just plug that into your calculator and you're going to find out that X is about 132.6. Or you could say, well, there's my variable part, natural log of X plus 8 equals 3 plus the natural log of 7. Because at this point, the natural log of 7 is a number. I can plug that into my calculator. I can add 3 to it. This is where the rounding gets tricky though, because if I rounded here at the tenths and I did this, okay, I would say e to the 4.9 equals x plus 8. And then I would do that, e to the 4.9, I would take away 8, and that would give me x. The problem is if I plug that in, that one only works out to be around 126 or so. If I round up here, if I would literally just put in natural log of 7, leave that answer in my calculator, add 3, and then use that answer as I go through, then I still get something much closer to the 132.6. So the moral of that story is there's more than one way to do the problem, but be careful on your rounding. Okay, so you're going to do the other 5 problems on that worksheet, and if you need help, you're going to let me know, and then we're going to do a little quiz on Friday. Okay, have a good day, guys.